Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 2019 Manager Career Mode with Ferrari for episode number 7 today at the British Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the previous one, then be sure to go check that one out, because that was an insane race. Probably actually the best race we've had so far of this season. As a result, I guess also as action as well, but episode 1, of course, was still one of the craziest races I've ever had in total on this Motorsport Manager game over the 3 years. But last episode was a real good one for Sebastian Vettel. Spoiler alert now, as we go into this one then, standings-wise, we are, 30 points back from Mercedes there. We've now had 3 wins on the bounce with Vettel compared to Hamilton's 3 wins at the start of the season. And we've also had 1 fastest lap apiece for Hamilton and Vettel there, you can see, because it's 2 points for a fastest lap in this series, in this mod. So it's 25, 25, 27, and then we had the literal mirror opposite, 27, 25, 25. The difference is obviously the results that Hamilton has got when we have been winning are a second, and a second and 2 points, I think. Yeah, second and 2 points there. So he's been very consistent, whereas obviously we started off the season very poor form with Vettel with that crazy race we had with only 2 points gained there. So got some ground to still make up, and obviously Leclerc has not had the smoothest races possible as well. You know, crashing, penalties, drive-throughs and whatnot. It's not been the best plain sailing season for Leclerc so far, compared to, I guess, the counterpart, which is Valtteri Bottas, the second driver in the Mercedes team. But hopefully we can try and have a good one at the British GP. 4-time lucky maybe for him. Obviously now I don't know what we can really call this now. 3 times on the bounce of Vettel, so it's kind of, you know, all square in terms of 3 wins each. So it really just is now, right, can we keep this going and go for a 4th win maybe? Let's see. The car's in a good place. The driver Vettel's in a very good place. He's been very quick in these last 3 races, and last race really showed it, you know, because he was able to close up the gap so quickly, whereas Leclerc just wasn't able to. So Vettel showing how good he is in this series so far. But Leclerc given a penalty for causing a collision, of course, last time out. What do you have to say? I'm going to back Charles, because I think that's what we have to do here in this situation, and that's going to, unfortunately, decrease the happiness of the chairman. Obviously, politics going around in the background of Formula 1, and that's probably not good, because even though we won the last race, we came away with a -5 morale. I don't know why, but we came away with it. So, you know, we won the race, but I guess maybe because we didn't have a double, you know, 1-2 like we had at South Africa, where we got +11, it wasn't enough. You know, the win wasn't enough. We had to kind of get, you know, because obviously we did actually technically lose points, I think, to Mercedes, even though we got a win. I think because the lead was 22, the difference, I think, or something like that, and now it's 30. So, kind of makes some sense there that we didn't gain points on our rival, so he's upset about that. So, kind of, you know, fair play, but at the same time, we still got a win, so I still think that's pretty good. But anyway, we're going to move forward, replacing some of these guys that are getting a little bit tired. 2.3, definitely need to swap him out there. We've got anyone else? 1.7 is still pretty high, so I'm going to leave him a rest. 3.2, we just swapped him out, really, didn't we? Is there anyone else to go? 2%. I do want to kind of... this level 13 might have to do, to be honest, because it's going to slow down our pit stop time to 3.1, but I don't know, really. Do we risk it? You know, I kind of say yes, let's risk it, because that's really slow. Or that's a 2.8. Let's see the hires. There's no one to hire. What is this dude? This Adala Palmer. What on earth are you offering to the teammate? 0936. Abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Reject. 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 None of you. You're all the weakest links. No, not having it. Not having it. Right, okay, that's done. Let's move forward. We've got an engine still being built, so that's still how many days away? Still 16 days. This is a very big engine upgrade. This best take us over Mercedes in terms of the engine power, because we can't do anything for now, apart from improving the parts we do have, which we're actually getting quite thin on parts we need to improve, really. I guess we may as well add everything that we can do. Gearbox, add that on. Suspension, with rear wing, add that on. What have we got odd out? What's odd? Suspension here. That's 2 away from the max. So let's remove that. We've got more to grow on the rear wing there. I sound like I'm growing crops in Minecraft, but obviously you guys know what I mean in terms of potential. Reliability apparently gets done 6 days before the race with 0 staff allocated, so that's absolutely amazing. So we'll just continue on with that then. Reliability work is done, literally on this next day, so that's all good. What have we got? Shorter practice sessions on the way for next season. I would be up for that, to be honest, because like in real F1, I agree, less practice means more what's the word I'm looking for? Predictability, that's the word. Less predictability if you have shorter practice sessions, because the teams that have much data, obviously in the game might be a little bit different, but in real life, that's what I believe is the case. They should kind of shorten practice sessions or kind of get rid of Friday practice in real life. That's not the case. That's not the point. In the game, though, this is just shorter practice sessions. Probably just means a little bit less of the video for you guys to watch whilst I move through practice, but also means I think the AI and me will have less knowledge, so maybe we can, have a better race against AI, potentially. I don't know. 20% chance of rain for this next race, so that won't mean too much, because we've seen so many times now so far, so many different percentages, and there's been no correlation to it whatsoever. Leclerc wants to thank us for being the best acceleration on the grid. Our gearbox is a beauty, apparently, so that's all good. Reliability is done, so we'll literally do any last bit of reliability that needs to get done. So those are good. Those are good. Add that rear wing. Those two are good. So literally just these 4 parts, and we'll have 100% reliability, or at least the maximum of what we can get to the parts for everything. Because, like I said the last time, these front wings unfortunately max out at 70, 90, 98, and 94 for some reason. So I don't know. I think maybe because when we built these, the reliability started so low, so maybe the max potential is not 100, it's only 98, I guess, maybe. So, yeah, we'll move forward then. Literally going to this FIA vote then for the short practice, and then literally the next day it is time for Guildford. So, let's vote in this. I'm for it. But also at the same time, it's not a crucial vote, It's not going to really change a lot about where I think we'll be. I mean, because we're in Ferrari, so obviously our car is always going to be good anyway. So it's not like we need practice to be competitive. The fine margins between Mercedes and Ferrari are not, they're not going to be changed by practice sessions. Mercedes are against it. There's 4-4, so there's a good chance it might be 4, because it's going to benefit all the smaller teams. So I'm just going to abstain, really, because I want to save my vote maybe for a vote that I really think will fully change the way the racing is or the series is, because I've also got to think about how the videos are and obviously the entertainment value of these videos with these votes, because sometimes it can change a quite big part of the sport. So I'm going to abstain and just let other people deal with it. So here we go. Conclude vote. And what is it going to be? At the moment, it is quite equal, actually, and it's going to be 7-3. Shorter practice sessions. They will only be 15 minutes long from next season there. What did I say? I was kind of for it, but I thought other people could vote for me, and now I've saved myself one entire vote for next time out. So I'm happy with that. We'll move on to Guildford then. It's time for the race weekend. Tyre wear is high, well, very high apparently. I would agree with that, because I remember from memory it's quite difficult to actually manage. So I'm going to go for 6 sets of mediums here. We'll go for 3 softs, to be honest. I think, honestly, it's going to be an extreme of literally we don't need the middle tyre. We need either mediums or softs, and there's no in-between. So we'll go 6-3-6. Fit parts. I believe every part was ready last race, so I don't think there's anything new to actually put. It's just that every single part has just gotten better since last race. So hopefully that means our car's pretty good and competitive. But of course, I did the most Ferrari mistake ever in the world last race in qualifying, and we got, I guess, we didn't get lucky because our car was fast and Vettel was fast, but we had to make up for it big time in the race. I can't count on that again. There's apparently no rain, but it's Britain, so there might be a chance of rain. There's 20%. I bet money that the 20% is in the region when we go into this race weekend. So let's just hope we don't do another Ferrari in qualifying, eh? But first and foremost, practice. Right, no rain in practice actually, so it's at least going to be a bit more straightforward in the race in this session, I guess, in terms of just the nods. So we'll send them out. Race trim as per usual. Bring them back in after 1 lap just to check the setup. This is a very old setup I've got saved from the Alfa Romeo career, which is literally like years ago now that I think about it. But no, not actual years ago, just feels like it. So we'll see how good this setup actually holds up on this Ferrari car. Of course, the car is a bit faster than the Alfa Romeo probably was when we last played it with it. So maybe it needs some tweaking here. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully not as long-winded as it did kind of take in the last 2-3 episodes here. But bring them in and see how it goes. Well, on the medium tire, we'll get that knowledge, obviously, for the race. I think, again, this will be... This season, surprisingly, if you've watched previous Motorsport Manager career modes of mine, I like to usually go quite aggressive, but this season and this series, so far, the conservative approach has been working out for us, just the long-term gain, waiting for other people like Merc to trip up maybe with the tyre strategy, and it's worked out for the last 3 races for us, to play that long game. even last race, you know, the long game was hoping that Vettel could make up the time, basically, eventually by the end of the race, and he did so, obviously. And eventually, Hamilton was the one that span in the end. But that's a pretty okay baseline. I don't know where to actually go with this. I remember Guilford needing very high suspension, so I feel like going towards understeer is the correct way to go about things. And I remember also top-end speed was quite important around here. But there's a lot more to go on acceleration, so I have a hunch we might need to go this way. So let's just try this with Vettel, and I'll go a little bit higher downforce for him and see how that pans out. Obviously, knowing me and my luck with this game, that's the complete wrong way to do it, and I will have to redo Vettel's setup completely once we come back in. But 92 for Charles. He's got nowhere else to go, really, apart from oversteer. So that already tells me I might have made a wrong decision with Vettel, but we move. We'll go to top-end speed then with Leclerc and see how he goes. And then with this, I'll go 1 click or 2 like that. And then a little bit higher downforce or lower. I don't know. Let's go lower if we're going towards top-end speed. Let's see how that goes out for him. Send out. I'm going to bring them in straight away because I'm really curious now to see which way I've gone. Like, which way is the right way. I think I've probably gone the right way with Leclerc and not Vettel, just by the guess of Leclerc's operating window being so close to understeer already on the setup. I think it should have gone the other way then. And I clicked bring in for Vettel, and for some reason it didn't bring him in. Okay, cool. Unless I thought I clicked it and I misclicked it. Right, Leclerc, it's 2 greats and a good. Is that actually gone the right way then? 89%. No. Well, all we've done is swap good and great. That is so confusing. Right, so we do want to go towards top-end speed, I feel. But we actually want to go towards understeer, so I might have actually gone the right way with Vettel, which is good. Good news. Downforce-wise, then, let's go a little bit high, and then bring this back to low, or do we just want a little tweak like that? Yeah, let's try that out. We'll go 8 laps, and we'll let him finish his knowledge then on the race trim. And the medium tire? Yeah, I've forgotten the name for the medium tire for a second. Right, Vettel's in. Oh, my lord, that's not the right way, is it? That's really not the right way. Right, tweak is set up. I'm just going to keep him out there now, and I've got to hope that that tweak will be good enough to get us anywhere near someone like 2 excellence and a great, or just somewhere near that, basically. But I need to now get the knowledge and not waste too much time. But obviously, this is what's going to happen now. With the practice sessions being shorter, and if I waste too much time with setups, basically it will mean that I get less knowledge. But hopefully that's the same way for the AIs, that they get, you know, setups that aren't as great and knowledge that's not as good, and it just mixes things up for the race then and for quali. So that's why I'm still in favour of it, even though it might hinder me at times as well in this game, because I've never been too great at doing the setups as quickly as we can, basically. But they're in, they've got level 3, and it's excellent, good, and great, so it's a little bit of a positive direction, I guess, but still only 93%, so still some way to go. We're on the edge of the handling, so I'm going to go the other way then, and hope that that is going to be the tweak we need, something like that. Yeah, something like that maybe is going to be where we need to go. That's great, that's poor, that's good and great. So, ooh, where do we go from here? Like something like that, maybe? I don't know. Let's just try it. Quali trim, 3 laps, go. Right, qualifying time then. Setups all good in the end, I think. 2 excellents and a great for Vettel it was. And then 1 excellent and 2 greats for Leclerc. 98% and 97%, I believe. So, pretty decent. Right, so we've got the knowledge, super softs and quali. In terms of the weather, 20% of chance of rain for now is actually staying away. So, that's pretty good. This is when it rains in the race. For a lot of it now, but quali, this should be pretty simple. We'll go with the soft. I nearly said medium because of 2019. We'll go with soft, and we will go with soft, and I will just let them do their auto thing, and it should be nice and easy into Q2, of course. Right, through to Q2. Obviously, no issues, unlike last race, thankfully. No calamity with that. There's no rain again. Forecast for this session, so it should be all fine. But this time, of course, now we go out on the soft tire and see how we do. Start both of those guys. Shouldn't need to do any kind of manual outlap really for them. They should be able to get through comfortably as well. Just about actually getting the job done here. But let's see. It'll be interesting to see how far we off now, or how far off, or how far off we are, or how far off Mercedes are. From us in this session, because that might tell us how Q3 is going to go, and then the top 10 shootout. But here we go then. Purple for Leclerc, actually going faster than Vettel or Hamilton. Maybe getting a bit of a toe, maybe, off Vettel there, potentially. I don't know, across the line. And it's a... oh, no, in the end, what? Vettel must have had a mega last sector, because Leclerc was purple both first sectors, and then Vettel with the last clutch one to come through. Very equalised performance, I must say. And they're a whopping 1 second faster than Mercedes right now. That is insane. Okay, I don't know if that's actually going to be the case in Q3, but for now, that is looking pretty major. Pretty major. At the moment, though, out in Q2, then, is going to be Grosjean, Norris, Stroll, Kvyat, Albon, Magnus, and let's see if that changes it at all as we go through to the end of the session. But mega 2 laps from both our drivers, then. If that is the case in Q3, we might have a very good Grand Prix and a very good race weekend as a whole, really, for everyone. All right, Q3 time then. This is where we really need to show that pace then. If you are going to be that quick, then it's time to show it once again. So we'll have 2 runs, I think, because, again, no rain and track grip's nice and high as it's ever been. So it's time to do the business then, lads. We'll have 2 runs. We'll send you... Well, actually, I'll wait a little bit for Leclerc, then we'll send them out. I will leave you to an auto for this first run. We'll do manual at the end then and see, because auto worked a treat in Q2, so let's just see how this lap time is then. Vettel's got decent amount of space, obviously, because he's actually the first one out there. Leclerc, he's got a bit of traffic with the Mercedes car ahead of him, but at the same time, he had some traffic on his Q2 run, and he actually had 2 purples in the first and second sector. So let's just see. And there's actually a decent amount of room that's now spaced out. The one who's actually getting hindered is that Red Bull behind Leclerc, who I don't know I can't tell who that is, but one of the Red Bulls is getting held up a little bit by us. But although saying that, there is now a Renault, I think that is, that's just come out on its outlap there. That's in the middle of me and Hamilton, so that might be a little bit annoying, but we move. Let's see. Right, Vettel first purple. That's good. Hamilton's not done purple, and it's a second purple for Vettel. Looking very decent here. So this might be provisional pole for Sebastian Vettel as we go through to the last corner, down the main straight, across the line, and it's a 1:17.5. What is Hamilton? 5 tenths off. Leclerc 4 tenths off. Bottas, where is he going to be? He's too green, so I wouldn't say pretty damn fast. Let's fast forward this and just see how he goes across the line. And it is 9 tenths off. Right now, Vettel in the driving seat by a very decent margin. Leclerc, though, actually not that far from Hamilton, though. So Hamilton's pretty quick, only 1/10 off Leclerc. So it's more just Vettel doing a great job than the car, really, maybe, potentially in this Q3 session for now. That is for now. Obviously, let's see if Leclerc does any better with a manual outlap. Right, we got it going there. The tyres are a little bit cold, apparently, unfortunately for Leclerc, because I was trying to get the braking on edge, so I don't know if this is going to be any better. Vettel's not going any faster. He's done 2 whites, and he's not gone faster. The lap time he had before is the same lap time that will stand for provisional pole right now. Leclerc has gone green in the first, only 500ths off Vettel in that first sector here. Let's see about the second sector. What will it be? It's green. He's 2 tenths off Vettel, so he's improved, but it's no purple. But it will mean he gets closer to Vettel's lap time to maintain the 1-2 potentially through the last corner across the line, and it is a fast lap time, but it is not enough for pole position. That will remain in Sebastian Vettel's hands, but it's a 1-2 for Ferrari. The car looking very quick then around Guildford. I don't know, maybe the car just really suits this circuit then compared to others, because obviously in this car actually we're down. Mercedes still have the better engine than us, but we have the better front wing and rear wing, or at least front wing and suspension arm. We have the best one, because remember we actually did like about 2 or 3 iterations on that, and it's always been quite crucial, the suspension arms around here at Guildford historically on the Motorsport Manager game. So maybe the car just suiting the track very well. So 1-2 in quality, but we have to try and obviously convert that for the 1-2 in the race, and then maybe then the chairman will be happy, and maybe then we can really make some ground on Mercedes in the constructors. Right, so in terms of knowledge we're going to take into the race, I don't actually know, because for like the 3rd time now in a row, I forgot to check the tyres then in terms of how long they go for. These go 8 to 10 laps, so I'm going to guess probably they go 12 or 13 when new. Probably the mediums go, let's say, 16 at best. I don't know, 16 at best kind of makes some sense there. So, I think it could be a 1-stop vibe, or probably more safely a 2-stop, and 2-stop with abilities to kind of push harder on the medium tires then. So I'm going to go again. It's worked for us so many times. I'm just going to go with the more conservative option, go medium tire knowledge, and just go for it, because it's just consistently works out for us to do this consistency, do this kind of like more conservative way of doing things. So we're going to go with pushing and overtake mode, and again try this whole thing of maybe if we go pushing and overtake it, they're going to get a good start off 1 and 2. The hope is they start 1 and 2 and they can be 1 and 2 into turn 1. I'll be kind of very annoyed if they don't be, if they're not, and if Vettel and Leclerc are down in 6th or 7th by the time we get to like the 3rd turn. I'm going to be very annoyed, but let's see, but there's no rain on the horizon, it doesn't look like. You can see track grips going up and up and up till lap 16, so there's at least no rain for the first half of the race. I don't imagine that there'll be another one because it wasn't forecast. So this time it looks like the forecast has been correct. So let's just go out there then. 1-2 in quali. Can it please be a 1-2 in the race? That would definitely kickstart our season finally to fully be back in the championship fight and have the chairman back on board and all happy. We now go to 5 red lights then to the British Grand Prix. Vettel on pole, Leclerc second. 5 red lights are out and we're underway, and it's a good start for both drivers there. Mega start. And Leclerc though is round the outside. The two Ferraris are side by side there, so our two drivers are battling for first place. But what a start there. 1.4 over Hamilton. That is what I'm talking about there. Compared to losing about 5 seconds, we've gained a second there on the start, and our two cars are flying. But look at that, Raikkonen up into P3 in the Alfa Romeo. The Mercedes are floundering. Bottas down to P8, Hamilton P4. The Mercedes car not working too well right now at the moment there. Raikkonen, what a start there, mate. It's literally a 1-2-3 for Ferrari in terms of, like, you know, ex-Ferrari driver Raikkonen here in the Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo being the B team, you know, junior Ferrari team in a way as well. Absolute mega stuff, but Hamilton will overtake him there. You can see into the last corner, side by side they go. Great bit of action there. Hamilton up into P3. Leclerc, I just realised Leclerc's got the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Leclerc leads the Grand Prix. We missed it. I was too busy watching Hamilton overtake Raikkonen, but Leclerc has just gone ahead and stormed Sebastian Vettel into turn 1, I think that was, to get the leads of the British Grand Prix. Have the table. Oh, and Hamilton's crashed. Hamilton, he's crashed. Pause. Where is he? Oh, he's off into the barrier. Drama here at the British Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton out at his home race. And Leclerc leads it. Vettel second, Bottas up into P4. It is a very good day for Scuderia Ferrari. It is a very good day. 1-2, 5.9 seconds ahead. Raikkonen now back into P3. It can be another blockade again for the only man who could probably stop us, which is Valtteri Bottas there. Great stuff. Right, lap 4, we've got both drivers on a low fuel delta here. Both are still pushing their tyres. We'll now probably go down to neutral and neutral just to calm things down on the tyre wear. But 9 seconds now, the gap is to Bottas. I don't know what's happened here, but the car is looking insane around Guildford. And we're looking good. So it's now just Ferrari v Ferrari, I think. Look how close these two are, toe-to-toe. But now we need to save fuel desperately and also watch out for the strategy now, because I'm not too sure what we're doing still. Not too sure what Bottas might do. But let's just try and maintain this, please. But I have a little bit of a suspicion that these two now are going to go fighting. And Vettel has been the faster man consistently over this season. So at some point, I'm sure Vettel will try and battle Leclerc and try and get back up into first place. We know tyre wear, usually Leclerc's worse at tyre wear. You can see that now, 35% to 44%. So tyre wear-wise, Leclerc is not in an advantage here. He's the one leading, so he'll probably have to pit earlier. So let's just see how this progresses right now. And the gap's coming down, of course, because we've stopped pushing the fuel. That's probably why, though, we're actually so far ahead, is we've been literally on overtake mode all 4 laps. And we're on literally -1 lap of fuel, whereas everyone else was on neutral. So I think now is where maybe Bottas starts to reel us back in a little bit, and we get a bit of a reality check in terms of our actual pace. But it's fine, because we've got that gap. We can actually use that to save the fuel. So it's kind of all fine and dandy, you know? It comes back into swing, into balance. Right, we've got worn tyres for both drivers now. Leclerc's really struggling. I would say probably 1 more lap and we go in, or now? Do we go in now? 17% worn. I say we just go in now, to be honest. I don't think you can handle it. So that's only 7 laps. Really poor tyre wear there from Leclerc. Right, the mediums go 18 to 20, but with Leclerc's tyre wear, probably we're only looking at 16 laps, I would say. So that would be, how many laps we're talking? 4, 5, 6, 7. That'd be like 23. Then you're looking at another 10. So I would say 2 medium tyres for Leclerc, because that's how bad his tyre wear is. So it means he can maybe push the medium tyres more, though. So that's good. But definitely 2 sets of mediums for Leclerc. Vettel, I don't know. He's on 28%, so he could stretch these tyres for maybe just about 2 laps if we're careful with him. So let's see about that. But Leclerc definitely will come in on this lap and pit. Let's see if anyone else comes in. Doesn't look like it for now. But it's a good pit stop for Leclerc. He's going to come back out in 5th place. Not too bad. A little bit of traffic ahead of us with Verstappen and Perez, but could be worse. Could be worse. Let's go pushing and medium on the fuel now, because the fuel's not too bad. Minus 0.29. We could bring that down to positive if we just stay medium right now. And Verstappen's definitely going to come in on this next lap, so he might be struggling with tyre wear. So Leclerc could maybe overtake him. We'll stretch it for maybe 1 more lap with Vettel. I think he's got 1 more lap in him, because look, 22%. We're on 16 with Leclerc when we came in. So I think Vettel's got 1 more lap in him to push. and Bottas will go one more lap with us there. So we're matching Bottas on when we come in on lap number 9 this is. So pit in this lap, go to medium tyres, park conditions fine. We'll go for the balanced pit stop because we did the same with Leclerc. Don't want to kind of just risk it basically. But Vettel gaining 8 tenths on this lap then, so that's a good in lap there. That's a very good in lap, and he did that on the previous lap as well. So he might just have the potential to jump Leclerc with these with the 2 laps of overcut here. You never know. Let's see as they come down. Ooh, no. Okay, maybe wishful thinking there. Vettel comes out in P2, then Leclerc 1.2 seconds ahead. Interesting. Bottas on the soft tyre. So he's definitely on a 2-stop. We're on a 2-stop, but we're maybe on a more conservative 2-stop. So, okay. Maybe Bottas has potential now to catch us a little bit because he's on the much faster tyre now. You have to watch out for that. But the good thing is, look at this. We're on already positive fuel now with Vettel. So I'll stay medium now. But this means I can save some fuel. And even if Bottas catches us on the softs, I can then spring the surprise of, okay, I've got some fuel, though, to burn. So we can try and counteract the fact he might be on faster tyres with a faster fuel engine mode. So that's at least good for us. But we'll go medium because I don't want to overheat the tyres. I need to go conserve with Leclerc. He's now overheating those tyres a little bit. So try and bring that back down. But right now, just trying to control it a little bit and just trying to assess the situation. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on this gap of 5.4 and just make sure it doesn't get to about 2 seconds. If it does, then we start worrying a little bit in terms of having to burn some fuel then. Right, sit rep on that 13 then. The gap is 1 second to Sebastian Vettel. The gap is 2.5 to Valtteri Bottas though, but we've got a lot of fuel to burn there. Well, not a lot, but a decent amount, because on overtake mode, that'll probably go away in 1 lap. On high, maybe stick around for a few laps there. We're pushing with Leclerc, just trying to get away from Vettel a little bit with him as he tries to get a bit more tyre life, basically. I had to go conserve for a few laps there. And Vettel, right now, just settling down. I just want to keep stretching him, because Vettel, I know his time will come. I know his time will come. He's got the pace. He's got the tyre over Leclerc. So I don't need to worry too much right now about immediately overtaking Leclerc this instant. Right, lap 15 then. Vettel now in high fuel mode. Leclerc, I'm saving fuel on low. Going to go to medium now. Just get that fuel back there. Gap is 0.8. I'm just trying to play a bit of a cat and mouse game here. I'm trying to kind of maintain the pace on Bottas and trying to slowly try and configure some way of getting Vettel past Leclerc, because of course Vettel is our kind of main man so far. He's not the #1 driver contractually or anything like that, but he's the kind of main man who's got 3 wins in a row, and I just think that Leclerc probably won't be able to pull off maintaining a lead on Bottas if Bottas was to get Vettel. I don't know. I do want to be fair on them though, because you know, even though Leclerc has been pretty piss poor so far in this mod and this series so far, I don't want to have to do actual team orders here. We've already kind of had to maybe try that before at Dubai. It didn't really work exactly for Leclerc, but if I want to try and be as fair as I can with them, to be fair, at this stage. But it's just the way it goes right now that Vettel needs to get away from Bottas a little bit and try and keep this gap to about 2 seconds, and he's doing that now. It will be 2 seconds, maybe nearly 1.9, near enough. But now we're closing in on Leclerc with Vettel there. But the fuel, what's the fuel like? Actually, fuel's okay with Vettel. Fuel's okay. I'll keep them like this, both on neutral. The only difference is Vettel's burning some fuel right now. But if Vettel gets past, we'll see. He's getting pretty close now. I'll go with high on Leclerc as well, because he's got the fuel to burn now. So they're both on the equal same. They're on the same, instruction. So it's all fair game right now, and they've gotten away from Bottas. So that's the good thing. It's 2.7 now, no longer 1.4. So they can fight. I'll let them fight, and we'll see just what happens here. Oh, Grosjean's crashed, and that's a virtual safety car. So we can save fuel, and we can save tyre wear as well. That's very, very good news for us. Should we pit under the virtual? I don't think so, because Bottas isn't going to pit now, is he? He's not going to pit under the virtual safety car himself. If he does, then maybe... Yeah, no, he's not going to pit, so there's no point. There's no point. We didn't need to pit on the virtual safety car. There's no real massive advantage gained, because that's too much to stretch on the mediums, I would say, straight away. Right, we're going to go again. Go medium, high. Medium, high. I mean, neutral, high, sorry. And we'll carry on like this. Right, the gap is 6.8, so somehow we actually gained time in that virtual safety car period. Shouldn't actually happen, but it's happened, so that's good. Right, the gap's 0.6. We've got 12 laps to go in this Grand Prix, then stretching these tyres, but as soon as Bottas pits, I think we will pit as well. He might be very close to pitting actually right now. Yes, he is. So you know what? I'm going to go early with Leclerc and push him very hard, and we're going to go for an early pit stop with Leclerc, try and get a bit of an undercut on Seb if we can, basically, with him. I think that's the best. You know, if I'm being fair, then I need to try to give both the drivers the best strategy here. So for Leclerc, the best strategy here is pushing harder now and going earlier now, because we know his tyre wear is worse, so he needs those few extra undercut laps, basically, to try and gain on Seb. And Verstappen has crashed. P5 out of this Grand Prix. That means Raikkonen's doing a mega job in the Alfa Romeo right now on P4. Mega stuff. Good to see. Right, Leclerc's gained 1 second here. We'll carry on pushing for one more lap. We know the cliff is not large for the medium tyre, so we carry on, He's gained some time, not too much though, only 1/10 now, so we'll pit in now. Do we go on the soft tyre? There's only actually, you know, obviously 10 laps to go. We could just go on the softs. We could go on the actual soft, actual yellow wall tyre instead of the super softs. That might be the motive actually. Just go on these tyres. We don't have any knowledge on them, but we don't have any knowledge on super softs. And the mediums, I feel like a bit of overkill, a bit too conservative. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's go soft tyre. Let's go soft tyre. We'll go for the we'll go balanced pit stop. We've got a bit of an iffy rear wing for some reason. That's fine. Bottas has gone 3 softs. Bottas has done a very aggressive 2-stop here with all compounds being super soft tyres. Mad. Right. Leclerc, he's in. Vettel, push on now for an in-lap here. Let's see how you do, mate. Right, Leclerc's out. No mistake for him on those soft tyres. That's good. Pushing and pushing. Right, pitting Vettel now, lap 25. Then he's done 2 more laps than Leclerc. And you can see, eagle-eye viewers, he's on the super soft tyre. Because even though Leclerc's on softs, and yeah, equal strategy. But like I said, the best strategy for Leclerc was to go early and push him harder earlier and come in for an undercut. The best strategy with Seb right now is on super soft tyre. We've used more fuel with him now on those in-laps, so we have to save some fuel with Vettel, but we're on softer compounded tyres, and we know Vettel has better tyre wear than Leclerc, so this is the best strategy for Vettel. So I'm trying to be as fair as we can and doing the best race strategy for them individually, and then basically just leaving it to, well, if they can do it on track, they do it on track and they get the win or they get second place. But I've tried to give them the best strategy that I think they can do, which is Leclerc, higher tyre wear, generally go for more durable tyres, push earlier, go for the undercuts, whereas Vettel go longer, overcut, and then try more aggressive strategy at the end here with softer tyres. Let's see how this works out then for both of them. Right, lap 28 then. We've got about 4 laps to go in this Grand Prix then, and Vettel is 0.6 behind Leclerc. 4 laps to go. These two very similar tyre wear actually now, both on high fuel, so this is going to be a tasty scrap here at the end here between these two. Who gets the first place? Who gets second in this 1-2 for Ferrari? Got a bit of traffic there with the Alfa Romeo, and Vettel goes for a move maybe with the traffic, and he gets held up a little bit there with the blue flags of Giovinazzi, that was, but it's all so close. They were side by side momentarily there. Vettel, ooh, radio message, what do you mean? I don't know what that means. I don't know. We didn't do anything. We haven't got any instructions on them. So I don't know what that was about, but Vettel closing in 0.3, very, very close here. They're literally on the same strategy, on high, and here goes Vettel with the blue flags. It's side by side, and Sebastian Vettel has made the overtake for first place. And Ricciardo has crashed out of the Grand Prix. Where is he? Very big crash-heavy GP this has been. 3 big hitters out. Verstappen, Hamilton and Ricciardo out of the British Grand Prix. But there goes Vettel then. Needs to save some fuel now with him because he's on 0. Whereas Leclerc is on plus 16 actually. So he could actually push right at the end of this. But the gap is now 1 second to Seb with those faster tyres working out for him. And the tyre wear not really been too much of an issue for him. So good stuff with Seb. And now, you know what? We've got some... I'll save fuel for the last lap of the Grand Prix. Because I want to try and get the fast lap of the GP if I can with Seb. Because obviously that's 2 extra points. And that'll be good for Hamilton to get on Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship. Even though I don't really care too much about Drivers' Championship, being the manager career mode, of course, it would still be great. So let's try that if we can. Right, here we go. We're going to go on to overtake mode and attack onto last lap of the Grand Prix. Let's do this, Seb. Let's try and get you a purple lap time we can. Green. What's going to be second sector? Ooh, no, not quite. 2 greens, 1.5 faster, but now we need to save fuel. Save fuel just at the very end there because he's going to run out of fuel on the line there. 4.5 ahead of Leclerc. Across the line. It is first place and the fast lap of the Grand Prix. There we go. Fast up the Grand Prix for Sebastian Vettel. Good stuff, mate. Good stuff there. And Leclerc comes home in second place. He would be annoyed maybe to lose the lead after leading for most of this Grand Prix. But it's still a great second place. It's the 1-2 for Ferrari. Grazie ragazzi. Forza Ferrari. Great stuff there. Great stuff there, guys. Great, great stuff. Make the most of Mercedes' demise. A crash for Hamilton, a 1-2 for us. That is a big W for this season. So 27 points then for Vettel, 18 for Leclerc, first and second trophy there. And so Vettel takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship then as Hamilton falters with that crash. That is massive for us. And look at that now, level on points with Mercedes. The season has just begun. This is interesting. 7 rounds gone, level on points. It's back to square one. This is good. This is good. This just got tasty. But there we go. 3.4 then in the bank. So good stuff there. 22.6 million. You know, because we've been doing this engine and we haven't been spending too much more money because this engine's taking so long. We've actually just saved up a lot of money in the last 2 episodes there. You know, we start with a budget of 10 million. We got 26 million. Although remember, technically we've got to try and save up as much as we can because remember when you start a career mode series Motorsport Manager, you don't have to spend money on a new car, whereas now for season 2 we will do. So there will be a point in this season where we have to think about starting to just completely save all our money for next year's car. But right now, looking good on the finance front and looking good in the championship there. And that has just set up a very interesting next episode where we can maybe take the lead of the championship fully with an actual points lead on Mercedes. But guys, if you did enjoy this episode, be sure to hit that like button. Let me know your thought in the comments below. If you are new around here, do subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava. Hope you stay. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.